welcome you all for today's webinar on role of pharmacognosy from lab to commerce. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Raju Wadekar sir, who is our today's resource person. Let me give you brief introduction about PCET first. PCET is a trusted brand in education since 1990, offering quality education from KG to PhD. Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust has a legacy of nurturing excellence since its establishment in 1990. Its sole mission was aimed at serving society, the industry, and all stakeholders through value inculcating quality education in the area of schooling, as well as professional tutelage in the fields of engineering, management, and computer applications. At PCET, we aim to ignite the spark of learning in each student. Our 11 institutes spread across three campuses in Nigdi, Rawit, and Sateh has carved out a name for themselves, having transformed the lives of over 46,000 students so far. Our institutes, Pimpri Chinchwad College of Engineering, Pune Business School, and SB Patil College of Architecture and Design, are some of the sought after colleges in the country. With the exception of Pimpri Chinchwad University, its milestone project, PCT has set its aim high to transform students into trailblazers of tomorrow. Set on a sprawling 10-acre campus in the bustling Pune metropolitan area, our university boasts state-of-the-art infrastructure to inspire and empower students and teachers, with some of the biggest brands from across industries in the vicinity, with General Motors, JCB, Infosys, and moreover, our students will have tremendous opportunity to connect with the business world and gain real-world experience. So with this brief introduction about PCET, I would like to welcome now Dr. Raju Wadekar sir with an e-bouquet. So sir, please kindly accept the same.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Let me introduce Dr. Raju Wadekar. Dr. Raju Wadekar is working as Assistant Professor Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry at SVKM Institute of Pharmacy, Dhule. He holds a rich experience of 17 years. He earned his PhD from KLE University, Belgavi, MPharm with first class distinction from KLE University, and BPharm from North Maharashtra University with first class. He has completed professional diploma in clinical research. He has 23 publications to his credit in peer-reviewed journals for national and international repute. He has authored 8 books, holds 4 patents to his credit, and has an H-index of 9. He has fetched research grant worth 5.40 lakh from SPPU. He has been nominated in Marquis Who's Who list 2012. He has awarded with Summer Research Fellowship by Indian Academy of Sciences at IHBT Palampur. He is recipient of Young Scientist Award, Best Faculty Award, Best Research Paper Award, Employee of the Year Award, Best Research Project Award by Savitribai Phule Pune University for his research entitled Evaluation of Anti-Arthritic Activity of Yograj Google Formulation in Kian's adjuvant-induced polyarthritis rat model. He is life member of APTI, IST, SPER, Indian Society of Pharmacognosy, Society of Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry, to name a few. He is also editorial board member and reviewer on various journals. With this brief introduction, now I request Raju Wadekar sir to proceed for today's talk. Thank you, sir.
Very good morning to one and all. Thank you very much, PCET's Pimpri Chinchwad University, Pune, School of Pharmacy for inviting me for this webinar. I am really grateful to the management of PCET's Pimpri Chinchwad University, School of Pharmacy for giving me this an opportunity to present a talk on role of pharmacognosy from lab to commerce. Dear student, I'm sharing this slide now. The slide is visible to you all.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Visible? Okay,
yes,
fine.
Sir, yes.
It's a full screen, no?
No, sir, make it full screen.
Now?
No, not yet full screen. Yes, it is now full screen, sir.
Okay, sir. Fine. So, today's talk is on role of pharmacognosy from lab to commerce. I hope these are the student of second year and third year BPharm, sir. All the
Yes,
student
sir.
of
Yes, sir.
second year
Yes.
semester 3 and 4 or
Yes, sir. Semester 4 and semester 2.
2 and 4. Yes, very great. So, dear student of School of Pharmacy, Pimpri Chinchwad University, Pune, today I am going to talk on role of pharmacognosy from laboratory to commerce. So myself, Dr. Raju Wadekar, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry, Shri Vile Pale Kelwani Mandal, Institute of Pharmacy. Now, before we start with this presentation, there is a disclaimer. There is a disclaimer that this presentation is made only for education purpose and not meant for any commercial interest. The information provided in the presentation by myself is taken from various books and my own personal understanding, personal experience in my subject, and the references quoted at the end of this presentation. Now, learning outcomes of this webinar will be the after completion, successful completion, the student will able to understand what is pharmacognosy, what are its prospects and perspectives, and then we will also understand, the student will also able to understand that what does a pharmacognosy role of pharmacognosy in laboratory for drug discovery and development of various phytomedicines for the treatment or for the therapeutic interventions of various metabolic disorders, for various communicable disorders, and then how this role of pharmacognosy helps in the commerce and regulation of herbal drugs, means what, how we can go from plant to penny. Dear students, please mind one thing, that whenever we opt any profession, okay, so that what is the main aim, what is the outcome, that after that profession you should able to earn, means from that knowledge, that skill, from that technique, every student should able to implement this knowledge, skills and techniques to earn money. And pharmacy field, you all are so lucky that you all are there in pharmacy field, you have opted this profession very well, and I'm sure that you are going to have very great future in this profession. How we'll see step by step. Okay. Now, in this role of pharmacognosy, introduction to pharma, we will first understand what is pharmacognosy. Short introduction we will study, we will discuss, and then we will also discuss the perspectives and prospectives. Again, as I told you, drug discovery, it means all this laboratory work which they do, because we need to understand first this pharmacognosy. Okay, in short, and then how it can be implemented in laboratory. Okay, for discovery and development of the drugs, and then what are the discovered and developed drugs are then commercialized and how they are regulated. Okay, and then how the market booms. Okay, and how the job opportunities that we get in future. So in short, if you see this presentation, is this presentation visible to you all? Please let me know, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is
Yeah.
visible.
So now
Yes.
we just need to understand, dear students, see what we are exactly studying here. What is our aim and objective? Okay, of the studying this subject of pharmacognosy. So pharmacognosy encompasses of all the subjects like pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacology. Okay, then your quality assurance, pharmaceutical analysis, all that embedded in this subject, and out of this subject we come up with so much of commercialization, as we can see here. See, we all here to understand the technology and laboratory work, and these are implemented on all these herbal drugs, means pharmacognosy means study of crude drugs, herbal drugs. And when it is done all together in laboratory, we come up with drug discovery, and then it goes to drug development, and then formulation development, as we can see. And this process is nothing but the actual commercialization, industrialization, trade, because it is escalating one. Okay, we are excelling. Okay, at highest thing. Okay, so we come up with these all products. You all are very well aware about all these products. Okay, means what, we are actually working from plant to penny. We are all are here to earn money, and that money we can earn simply by understanding the subject pharmacognosy from lab to commerce. Commerce here means a commercialization, trade, economy, business, entrepreneurship development. Okay, to develop new and novel products out of these herbal drugs. Okay, by taking again the basics of pharmaceutics, pharmaceutical chemistry, pharmacognosy, phytochemistry, pharmacology. Okay, and there are live examples in front of us like Himalaya, Dabur, Charak, Jandu. They are earning so much of profit every year out of this component, and of course they require students like you to work with their company, to work with their association. Okay, and ultimately what will be the outcome? We will earn good handsome of salaries. We are the part of that R&D, we are the part of that innovations and research. Okay, so we'll start with the short introduction, friends. Pharmacognosy, as the word itself it understand, the pharmacognosy actually, I'll just give a small story. I'll narrate a small story. You see, in previous years, in old civilization, every country, every nation, every continent where the peoples were dwelling, they were having their own way of medicine, so their own theories and practice of medicines. Okay, we always say there are the three basic needs: food, clothes, and shelter. But no, that on top of that, there is a very important one is human health. Okay, the health is at top. As we can see in COVID situation also, everybody was fighting with COVID. It means what? No money, no shelter, no clothes. But on top that, humans. Okay, the lives of human beings is so important and precious to everyone. Okay, if it is not there, and it should be healthy one. How it should be? It should be healthy one, right? We don't want ill person. We don't want disorders person. We don't want disease persons like human beings. But we want a healthy person, healthy human beings to run our civilization, right? So in ancient time, these every continent, as I told, in our Asian continent, Asia and all the world, peoples and they were practicing their own system of medicine obtained from the natural resources like plants, animals, minerals, and then these resources were used. Okay, from natural resources they were used, and out of them all that medicines were developed at that time, but they are very much in crude form. And slowly as they what we call as in short, it's a metamorphosis of all these medicines or all these herbal this research. Okay, so as you can see, the Vaidyas, the Hakims, they were practicing these all medicines at that time, and slowly as days has gone, okay, people have developed themselves in terms of technology, knowledge, skills. Okay, and they come up with the new and novel medicines to treat various diseases and disorders, right? Just to save a human civilization, right? So throughout this history, people have collected wild plants, cultivated them near their homes with the intent of maintaining, restoring good health, fighting infection, and therefore the further the alliance between the plants and medicines span history across practically every civilization. And eventually the data was developed, the literature was developed, and ultimately people got the researchers, this pharma field has developed. Okay, as such, in India, we are having Ayurvedic pharmacy. At the same time, in the same era, in Western world, they were having a apothecary, what we call it as pharmacy. It means compounding and dispensing. And then the world came together, and they thought worthwhile, why not to have this pharmacy at one junction, at one platform. So they have developed, they have converted all this knowledge on one simple language, English, and then they have given the term pharmacy. And then all the subjects with their specialization, they have defined their role, responsibilities, studies, material, syllabi, and all those things. And according the students are learning, and then we are implementing that knowledge in our day-to-day life, in your profession, right? Dear students, about 25 to 30% of crude drugs prescribed worldwide come from plant. More than 121, I think not only 120, it might have gone, now the figure have been increased, and not only 121, it more than that, such active compounds being in current use. Like your simple salicin, salicylic acid, what we call aspirin, quinine sulfate, morphine. There are so many molecules are there that we will study, yes, in next slide. Of the 252 drugs or more than that drug, these are the basic and essential and which are recognized by World Health Organization. More than 11% are exclusively plant origin. Dear student, I tell you, I bet that most of, means 90% of all medicines which we have, which we see in market, they all derive from the plants, animals, minerals, marine origin. Okay. And a significant number of synthetic drugs are also obtained from natural products. Means, say for example, Taxol. So, what do you say? There are biosynthesis are taking place. There are some compounds, like very good example. What is bromohexene? What they did is Vasaka, Adulsa. We know everyone Adulsa, Vasaka. So it contains vasicin. That vasicin is converted by derivatization. It is converted bromohexene. So that is the one of the standard synthetic drug from natural precursor. Okay, even the diogenin. There are so many examples are there that we can discuss over here. Probably the most, please let me know if the slides are visible to you all, because I'm just changing the slides. Uh, Sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, it is visible.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so we will take one example, friends, to understand how this what is the role of pharmacognosy. Now, here, in what they did is, no, see, this is a Salicylate alba plant, or it also called willow tree. Okay, so the researchers, when they were dwelling in jungles and forests, in woods, they observed that the mother elephant, what do you say, expectant uh, female elephant, means she was pregnant and she was suffering from some illness and the pain. What she did is she scraped the bark of this plant, Salix alba plant, willow tree plant, and she started eating that bark. Okay, so after observing that, this observation, animal observation, use of plants by animals for their own treatment, for their own good health, this field is also known as zoopharmacognosy. So such a keen observation was done, and it was found that this plant, what we call it as Salicylate alba here, this plant was taken in laboratory. There, the scientists studied in detail. Pharmacognosy, pharmacy student like you in previous days, okay, they observed that how that plant, how that animal is getting relief from their pain just by eating the bark of this Salix alba. So what they did is they took the bark of this plant in laboratory. They started studying its physical nature, chemical nature, phytochemical nature by treating with reagents. What you do in laboratory, yes, everybody is doing that chemical test. Simple, but it's so important, friends. So please take all the practicals sincerely. Have good observation while doing the practicals. You should know all the reagents. Okay, test in detail. Each and everything is so important. So in laboratory, they did lot of work on this plant and they come up with this molecule called as salicin. So it contains salicylic acid, and this salicylic acid is then known as salicin. And when this salicin is acetylation is done, we get aspirin acetyl salicylic acid. And then the pharmacological studies carried out on that molecule, it found is a very good anti-inflammatory, analgesic, is very good painkiller. And then we pharma peoples have developed the commercial product out of it called as aspirin. Aspirin. You are very well where you all, this is a blockbuster drug, blockbuster drug. Even the patients with high BP, doctor recommend aspirin as a blood thinner. You can see from one plant we get one molecule, but has tremendous multifaceted use. So we can get medicines out of it. It is life-saving drug, so important drug, aspirin. Okay. So this is the magic. This is the beauty of study of herbal drugs in the subject pharmacognosy, right? It is a very good anti-inflammatory drug, analgesic drug obtained from Salicylic alba. How is it possible? How it will be possible for them? It means observation, study. So while studying these webinars or what your faculty teaching you in college, please pay attention and follow their instructions in laboratory, in class. Every subject is going to give you skills, techniques to develop yourself as a very good entrepreneur. Okay. Now, pharmacognosy, actually, the word itself is, as I told you, this pharmacognosy came later in 1820, sorry, in 18th century. Okay, before that only there was study was carried out on crude drugs, but then the modern science has accepted this subject as a pharmacognosy. In pharmacy, this is a subject of crude drug means study of crude drugs means pharmacognosy, where the word pharmacon means a drug and gignosco means to acquire knowledge of. So actually we are acquiring the knowledge of crude drugs means pharmacognosy. Thereafter, in again 18th century further, many scientists have studied this subject in detail, and therefore what exactly the subject is known then, what exactly we are doing in this subject of pharmacognosy. Actually this subject relates to the study of physical, chemical, biochemical, biological properties of crude drugs, drug substances or potential drugs or drug substance of natural origin, as well as the search for new drugs from natural sources. Because natural sources are abundant, they are easily available. Okay. And the nature, Mother Nature keep blessed us, okay, with this nature. The only thing is we need to observe, we need to use that Mother Nature resources properly, judiciously, and bring up with new and novel molecules for the human civilization, humans to our society, right? So that is why in pharmacy, pharmacognosy play a very important role in commercialization of drugs, because we study all its nature, all its physical chemical attributes, just to make this crude drug into a drug or a medicine. We also understand and how one can start with this, just know the crude drug. So then how one can tell from where you get the idea of crude drug. Say if somebody asks me that, sir, if you're talking about drug, then tell me which drug I should start with. So I cannot randomly select from nature. I cannot go in nature and I simply cannot pluck the plant and say, yes, this plant has medicinal value. No, we have to have some strong literature base, and that we get from our ancient text written by or practiced by Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, Ashtanga. See, here we, though we are learning modern science in pharmacy, pharmacognosy, the basic, our roots, okay, are our basic, our ancient knowledge only. Understood? Even the foreigners or the Western world peoples, they took the knowledge from here only. They studied like ashwagandha, shatavari. These all drugs we hear very commonly, very oftenly. So why? Because it is already there in our text. They're already there in our practices, day-to-day practices, right? And then we study them, in modern perspective, scientific perspective, and we give them up some scientific proof or base, and thereby we can utilize it in a different form in terms of medicines. Okay, because we know, we believe that nature does nothing uselessly, which is told by Aristotle. Really, it is not. Nature has not done anything uselessly. Everything is useful. Only thing is our observation, our keen interest into it. Like simple example of aloe vera. Aloe vera, what we called as korpad, kumari. Okay, this plant has multiple uses. It is already known in Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, Chinese system of medicine. Okay, but it was only with that system of medicine when we are practicing it. But if you want to make it more scientific relevant and make it, bring it at global platform, recognize it as a global market, in global market, then in that case we have to understand what aloe vera is, what is its chemical nature, physical nature. Can we use aloe vera in different form, in different way? Okay, if it is taken orally, what will be the effect? If it is applied topically, what will be its effect? Right? Whether it will work as anti-inflammatory, analgesic, anti-cancer. That study is important, friends, which we need to do it in laboratory. All that things, and then only we can commercialize it in proper way. What we call it commerce. Understood? So this is our base and fundamental things that we get the knowledge. We should get all the drug knowledge from all the system of medicine. That also we need to understand from Chinese system of medicine. Even in Chinese system of Shen Wun, in this book, they already have more in 2700 BC. Uh, 365 drugs are noted or studied in detail with respect to their physical nature, chemical nature. But still, scientific studies are required to bring it into the commerce. Okay, a very good example in Chinese medicine is Ephedra, which is called a Mahong. This plant was studied in 2700 BC, and it was mentioned in this book, Pentosoko and Chinese medicinal plants, written by Pentosoko, name of that person or the scientist, or at that time the what you call it as a Vaidyas at that time. And then that plant was taken by the scientific people. It was studied in laboratory with respect to its chemical nature. And it was found that ephedra contains ephedrine type of alkaloid, and that is one of the miraculous drugs in asthma treatment, bronchial asthma treatment, friends. So see, you can see that we can understand that how important it is, right? Again, if you go back in the history of natural products, as in medicine, in third millennium, we can summarize like Sumerians, in Egyptian, Abrams Papyrus, Hippocrates, Dioscorea, Islamic. So it not only in India, but at the in the parallel universe. Okay, it was a parallel universe everywhere. So, say for example, if iPhone is launched somewhere in America, then obviously the same iPhone is available every in stores in all over the world, all over the globe. Yes or no? So in similar way, at that time in 30 million or say 1550 BC, at the parallel universe, all these medicines were used and worked and studied by the different civilization in different way. Only thereafter, in after the growth, the development, as the development was done in modern science in terms of technology and knowledge, we have given it more advanced way. Okay, studied these drugs in more advanced way. So this subject of pharmacognosy, as we just have to, we need to acknowledge the importance and what is study done by John Adams Kidmit and C.S. Sadler, a medical students. Okay, in Germany in 1850, he wrote his book called as Analecta Pharmacognostica. Means according to him, he want to do the analytical studies of crude drugs. Just by physical study is not going to help us to understand the nature of drug. Therefore, they started with Analytica Pharmacognostica in detail. Okay, even the J. Skidmit in Vienna, he wrote in his book called a Labrus der Medica, Materia Medica, and there are so many books were written thereafter by the students, and there is a teacher student process are there. So throughout that, they took the knowledge. And in 1803, a new era in the history of medicine took place. How? Before that, before 18th century, people were only using plants in a crude form, like in powder form, in extract form, in a liquid form, or as a whole. Okay, they are simply preparing some brew or say tea or say a hot decoction. Just simply that taking the plant and just dipping or dipping into the water for 2 hours or 8 hours or 12 hours, and then whatever the extracts was out obtained out of it, they were just drinking it, consuming it, and they get relief from the pain or the problems. But then it was again having a lot of limitation. There we cannot give a onset of action for the treatment or as a treatment. Therefore, in 1803, again the scientists, a group of scientists started studying in detail that how we can develop or how what are the chemical nature present in that drug, herbal drug. Is it possible to extract it, isolate it, and once you isolate the pure compound, if it is given, it will give effect, onset, rapid effect will be there. So they developed it, the technique called as phytochemical research. What we require, their extraction, isolation, purification from that plant. Okay, so that is why it is called as from laboratory. All that work was done, and they've come up with the morphine as a active constituent, strychnine, quinine, nicotine, atropine, and cocaine. So you can see in 18th century only how many compounds were in laboratory. These all things I've done in laboratory, friends. Okay, crude drugs means they have taken quinine like cinchona plant in laboratory, means from the literature they come to know that yes, cinchona plant has such type of antimalarial activity. Maybe in that extract actually when it was given to some person suffering at that time. So they took that plant, Pelitator and Caventon, the name of two scientists. They took that plant in laboratory. They studied its chemical nature by doing extraction, isolation, purification techniques, and then they isolated one compound called as quinine out of it. And this quinine was studied its pharmacological activity, and it was surprising that this quinine has potent antimalarial activity. And from that day, this quinine was used as a potent anti-malarial drug. Even today also, this drug is enjoying its name and fame. And the companies developing these drugs, they are earning lot of profit. Doctors has to prescribe these medicines in parenteral form, in tablet form, in suspension form, friends. So see how it is there in commerce, how it is enjoying its commerce and money, right? Again in 19th century, as I told you in 18th century and again further in 19th century, the chemical structure of many compounds were determined. How they determined? Again in laboratory. How in laboratory? By using various techniques they develop. You see, pharmaceutical engineering. It means we are also working with engineerings like we are developing some instruments, apparatus, equipments. Okay. Say for example, if I want to isolate the compound, so I have to do extraction from that plant. So I take the plant material like roots or stem or a bark, I powder it. So for powdering, I will require grinder. So after grinding, then I am using it, I mean putting it into some apparatus called a sock slit where I can extract. Again, that it means what? At every point, okay, whatever the instruments apparatus you are using, again there is a commercialization of that instrument. Again I have to buy that instrument from the supplier get the order from me that is from pharma industry that they require. It means what, friends? We are the actually channelizing the economy of our country, not only country but the whole nation, not only the nation but the whole globe. Okay, so by indulging in this process of drug discovery from lab to commerce, right? So in 20th century, further the discovery of important drugs from animal kingdoms, particularly specifically for hormones and vitamins, was done. Microorganisms are the worth sources of various compounds, important medicinal compounds like prebiotics, probiotics were developed out of it, right? And they are also earning a huge profit from the market. In it is again a short example, opium, which we called it as afu. Okay, from that this plant is there. From this, though it's narcotic, but from this plant, the scientists had developed a compound called as codeine in laboratory, which is a potent antitussive compound, and you can get this drug in form of Corex syrup. It is there in market available, but this is a scheduled drug because this codeine may form or there may be abuse of this. So this drugs is a scheduled drug and therefore it is only prescribed by the medicinal practitioner or a doctor. Yes, this is a important. This slide is visible to you all.
Yes, sir. Yes, it
Or it
is
is getting
visible.
too fast. Please let me
No,
know,
sir,
sir.
it's visible. Yeah, visible, sir.
No, is it I'm going very fast or should I
No,
go
sir,
slow?
it's okay, sir. Your speed is.
Yeah. So friends, see again one example. This is what we I keep on talking Cinchona plant. There is a area called a Cincon region in Peru where the king Cincon, his queen fall ill one fine day. And she was not feeling well. She was suffering from chills and fever. So somebody from Vaidyas over there, they suggested that go in the forest of Cincon region and get that plant, the bark of that plant. They got it and then they studied. Okay, and they just given a hot decoction of the plant, what we call a garam pani bana ke usko de diya queen ko, and she felt better. Okay, and this was written in the literature. So you can see this page I have taken from the literature book. Okay, at that time when it was mentioned there. Okay, and two scientists, Pellitator and Kevin, they studied this plant in laboratory. They found this quinine molecule out of this plant, the bark of this plant, and then this quinine became the pure drug. Okay, and this quinine sulfate was then converted into a pharmaceutical dosage form like quinine, no doubt. No doubt, friends. Laboratory means whole laboratory, means from basic to the modern, like clinical trials, phase, these all comes under the laboratory phase only. Even your manufacturing is a laboratory. Okay, commerce, when we call commerce means when it comes finished product, all this finished product, it comes in commerce, means it is in trade. Okay, it is available in market, right? So this is how it, the see the journey from simple crude drug, from plant एक झाड़ से हम सीधे मेडिसिन बना रहे, लाइफ सेविंग मेडिसिन बना रहे, है ना मैजिक? सो कितना ही पावर है अपने फार्मेसी में, वी हैव सच, वी आर सो पावर हाउस, राइट? So, discovery and development in short, we will discuss, friends. Discovery means again in detail, we will in short, also not in much detail. Of course, you are going to study this in semester 4 in pharmacognosy and phytochemistry, one subject, basic of pharmacognosy, cultivation, collection, plant. There are so many in units you are going to study. So, as I keep on telling you, dear students, this is a discovery in laboratory work, characterizations laboratory work, production laboratory work, standardization of natural product laboratory work. These all things are carried out in lab, and every lab develops, every lab creates job opportunities. For example, if I'm working laboratory, if you all people are doing so much of chemical test and you are in laboratory, you do so much of chemical test and other practicals. So if I want to develop a laboratory, I can easily say that yes, I just need a small lab. I just need a 1 BHK flat where I can have a two laboratories I will develop. And I will ask industries, please give me the sample. I will do the analysis. I will do the discovery by using some equipments and apparatus, big machines. Okay, so if I know this, how the discovery is done in laboratory, how calculation is done in laboratory from plants, I can set up my own business, so I can provide services to the industries and get new and novel products out of it, right? So I can develop my own entrepreneurship process, so that what is all about, friends, nowadays what we call about startups nowadays. We should look into this. We should take our subject as our field pharmacy itself as a entrepreneurship development subject, self-sustaining. The small with this we can develop so many products, so many startups, okay, for the well-being of society. From the last 200 years, witness a substantial metamorphosis in the subject of practice and principles of pharmacognosy that we know very well. How it has been developed, drastical development is there. Simple in previous days, we are just doing identification of plants by simple with the help of taxonomy. So what we used to do is, I'm taking the plant of my interest where on which I want to do some research. So I'm just taking it to the taxonomist. Taxonomy used to study its all the plants parts and telling me that yes, this is the same plant what you want to study. But that is not a complete thing. So I have developed new technique called a DNA fingerprinting profile of plants. That also a avenue, okay, new what you say technique has been developed. So if I develop such type of practice or such type of laboratory practices, okay, in my own lab, so I can get so many, I can do so many samples daily basis, DNA fingerprinting, and I can earn lot of money out of it. So it means what, from lab to again commerce. So lab to commerce concept is not just doing the complete laboratory work and all. Even small laboratory work is going to land you in the commercial market. Okay, जैसे अगर कोई आपको टेस्ट करवानी है, केमिकल टेस्ट, किसी प्लांट का केमिकल टेस्ट करवाना है, सो इफ यू आर well versed with and if you have very good well set up laboratory, just simply ask for consultancy. You just tell the companies, please don't do in your lab, don't invest, Just send a sample to me in my lab. I will get it done for you. You just pay me. Okay. The whatever the amount is, right? So it means what? You can start your own business. In addition, pharmacognosy studies of variety of commercial and medicine products such as vitamins, which is a very important nowadays. Vitamins, proteins, what all the bodybuilders student need, all that, they are very much boosting for wellness. What we call is a wellness into bracket, into inverted commas, wellness. Under wellness themes, we have weight loss, weight gains. For that, we require proteins, vitamins, enzymes, and so on and so forth. Research problems in pharmacognosy includes wherein we can develop phytochemical studies, microbial chemistry, biosynthesis, biotransformation, biological and chemical science. So every aspect leads to commercialization in laboratory. Laboratory itself is a commercial work. Simple for if anybody for person for doctor suggests go and do the testing, blood test, urine test. Okay, means what? You are sending sample to the laboratory. What laboratory takes from that study? They ask you money, so you have to pay them money. Okay, for simple diabetes test or this test or that test. Similarly, we can also develop our laboratory into a commerce with the help of this pharmacognosy subject. Further, clinical pharmacognosy means what? Clinical, preclinical testing of all the crude drugs in laboratory so that we can provide a potent, a renowned medicine. Okay, usable medicine. Analytical pharmacognosy means all analytical work is carried out, physical, chemical, biological testing. Industrial pharmacognosy means where we actually going to develop a herbal formulations, not only in active compounds but in a whole drug, powder drug, mixtures, suspensions, emulsions, tablets out of the herbal drugs have been established and they all have commercial utility. Marine pharmacognosy, which is also one of the leading field in pharmacognosy, where we also understand analytical marine pharmacognosy, herbal formulations, nutraceuticals, cosmetics, and cosmeceuticals. Here, the cosmetic means what? Just a beautifying product, not beautifying product just to, for temporary aesthetically it is used. Whereas cosmeceuticals means what, friends? Here actually we are making the product which not only help to beautify the person's or one skin, but also to protect the skin, protect the hair, protect the oral cavity, which are the aesthetic properties for our personality development. So we are actually in this business and we can make use of herbal drugs, okay, to develop these cosmeceutical products. And already it is there in market. Mama's Earth, so many wow shampoo, wow companies also there. Then Mama's Earth is there every now and then. You can see the market is full of products and they know their customers are available, so they take the risk in laboratory and they commercialize it and they earn good profit out of it. Okay, in detail again, this is the what you say modern pharmacognosy, where the molecular pharmacognosy is also laboratory work, where the molecular structural identification, DNA fingerprinting profile, genomic studies of crude drugs. Here pharmacognosy means crude drugs. Okay, genomic study of crude drugs, metabolomic studies of pharmacognosy is also important, which in the future it demands in molecular biology, biotechnology, okay, and further natural medicine. Understood? So we are not only simple doing the chemical test, but at molecular level, at cellular level of every plants, animals, these are also equally important. So this is all about what herbal drug standardization or what we call laboratory work, wherein all these basic studies are carried out on this. Still, it has huge market. The peoples are working on this. There is a company called as Yuka Pharmaceuticals, where they provide so many phytochemicals, okay, at various rates, okay, and every year they are developing new and novel phytoconstituents. They are selling like anything. They are getting lot of profit out of it. So this is what friends suggest. I want to brief some in short that how the discovery is carried out, or how this laboratory work is carried out. This is my own PhD work, where we did is we took three plants, okay, and from that plants they are mentioned in Ayurvedic text that they are very good for liver disorders. Okay, यकृत साठी खूप उपयोगी आहे असं आयुर्वेदामध्ये मेन्शन केलेलं आहे. टुमुरू प्लांट आहे, पटोला आहे, ओके, युआरएन आराम आहे, असे 3 प्लांट्स मी घेतले. And what I did is I took it in laboratory, I standardized it, I authenticated this plant, and then I have done Soxet extraction in laboratory. Means what? I prepared extract out of it. Then we started some phytochemical study. We have isolated the compounds called as quercetin, okay, by using HPTLC, UV, IR, and NMR. We understand, we came to know that this plant extract, all these 3 plant extract, okay, it shows presence of quercetin, which is a chemical phytochemical compound. And because of this, when the extract is used in this animal for hepatoprotective activity, it was known that because of this molecule, this animal who is suffering from the hepatotoxicity get relief, okay, in some enzymatic studies, okay, in some total proteins, albumin. So it was all studied, and we came to know that this plant has huge commercial value. Now, after this study, friends, now this when we publish the data in scientific domain in form of papers in publications, people start studying this plant because these plants are scientifically evident and validated through some animal studies. What these all laboratory work we are doing, and we are giving it in public scientific domain. Now, from scientific domain, these plants are now explored for its further scientific validation, and then it are brought in the commercial utility. ऐसे कोई मुझे बोलेगा कि नहीं ये प्लांट ले लो सर एंड यू वर्क ऑन दिस, यू विल गेट हिपेटो एक्टिविटी, ओके, वो इफेक्टिव है, बट nobody is going to believe me. So unless and until I give some evidence, scientific evidence by doing some laboratory work, that plants cannot be marketed, not brought in the commercial utilization. It may be in form of churna, it may be in form of basma or some means Ayurvedic formulation, or means after doing this all laboratory work, I can making sure that these plants are now ready for commercial utility. Understood? So this is how the role and importance of pharmacognosy from lab to commerce takes place. Friends, just for your information, these are the some leading herbal industries where all this, again, they do have their, just say Dabur, they do have their own Dabur R&D center, okay, research center, where all these plants which are mentioned in Ayurveda, they are studied in detail, scientifically they are studied, and then they develop compounds or say products out of it, and then they brought in the market for sale, purchase, import and export business. Himalaya, which one of the leading one. These are the top 10 companies where you will get job if you do very well in B Pharma projects. Please opt very good projects, not in pharmacognosy subject. Not only pharmacognosy, actually, there is no such this subject and that subject, but we should be we should have a multidisciplinary approach. Okay, so our main outcome is to get our product commercialized. So you can go for patent and IPR products and so on. Okay. Jandu, Baidnath, Charak, Alain, Herbals, Natural Remedies Laboratory, Ansar Drug Laboratory Surat. So they are also making so many products out of it. Even your domestic products, even day-to-day products, your morning start with your toothpaste, right? Brush and toothpaste, right? So from there to your till your day ends at night. So till then you should we have developed pharmacies everywhere. Okay, and therefore we are in commercial market. We are in very good profession. Okay, we are in a very good business profession, friends. Just the only thing is you need to understand. You need to have that interest. Again, for our understanding, how actually the commerce works once the product is developed. Is there any relevance of this laboratory work? Is there a commercial market is available? Yes, friends. These I have taken from polarismarketresearch.com. You can see here the global market medicine from 2015 to 2026. It is going like, you know, at higher side. Exponentially, it is increasing day by day, year by year. So there is a huge market, friends, for tablet, for capsules, then for powders, for extracts and syrup. Okay, so in pharmaceutics, as you study very well, you can develop syrups, tablets, capsules from or herbal drugs. Okay, and in pharmacology, you can do its pharmacological study, preclinical study, toxicity studies, chemistry. You will understand the chemical nature. In short, in all about this study, you will be in the market at higher rate. Okay, so this is the evidence we are that even the plant, if you study about the plant, you can see this slide itself, it is the evidence. Okay, it witness that is from 2014 till date 2025. We can see the plants, moringa, you know very well, moringa, शेवगाची शेंग. आपण साधं किती झाडं उगतात, आपण सर्व त्याला अवॉइड करतो, बट सी people, very smart people, they don't do big work, they do smart work, that's why simple from moringa. Okay, moringa, it contains so much of, so in laboratory they tested and they found that moringa plant, moringa leaves, moringa seeds, moringa itself, the whole legume, it is enriched with nutrients, multivitamins, okay, vitamins, right? And they are so nutritious in nature. And you can see here, friends, moringa is marketed in crude form, in powder form, in mixture form, in active form. Okay, Echinacea, then flax seeds, turmeric, which is simple. We use a condiment spray, but turmeric, you know that the active constant present turmeric, curcumin, that are potent anti-inflammatory compounds. They are really good in cancer. Ginger, then ginseng. Okay, you can see here, friends, they how, and that to US $1 million market, $1 million market. You can relate with the commerce, right? US herbal supplements, all US herbal supplement market. And I'm happy to share with you all that India is one of the leading country, leading nation in the import, export, manufacturing, selling, purchase of all these herbal drugs. We are the biggest supplier. Okay, even in corona case, in corona COVID, India has exported cinchona bark to US to get the quinine out of it. We are the biggest cultivators due to our well weather conditions, friends, right? So as we can see, our nation is developing, like we should be proud of it, in all sectors, right? We are at fourth place now. So it will only come by the interest of students. Education will help us. Okay, in whatever field you are, pharmacy, right? Make it your the dream that yes, you will also your company somewhere in next coming years, you will also grow your company, herbal drug industry, at this exponential expanded thing. Okay, level. Again, this is a personal care products. I have just given some few examples. First is pharmaceutical products. Second one is herbal drugs, and third one is a cosmetic products or cosmeceuticals, what we call a personal care products. So you can see here, herbal drug industry market, skin care, hair care, you know. Then we can see the personal hygiene, makeup, fragrance, oral hygiene. सबसे ज्यादा क्या बिका कोविड में? And what to say, sanitizer, simple sanitizer, right? So you can imagine, friends, this growth. We are at growing stage, though it's little bit slow, but yes, we are sustainable. Growth कैसी होनी चाहिए? Sustainable होनी चाहिए, stable होनी चाहिए. एकदम fast गए तो हम एकदम नीचे आ जाएंगे. So it's better to slow and steady always wins the race. Okay, ये एकदम overnight नहीं होगा. It will take time, and for that purpose we have to keep on studying, we have to keep on learning, we have to be there in the market, what is recent going on, AI and all that. We have to study, friends, through these webinars, through your lectures, through your faculty teachers lectures. Please approach them for your betterment. Okay, and I am very confident your school of pharmacy has such a uh, great gens, such a great faculties you have. You are really blessed with the good faculties, experienced and qualified teachers. One good example I will just like to put forth here, like how it goes in commerce in short. That see, when they understand Indian medicine plant, they all have antimicrobial, antifungal, or antibacterial effect. What they did is they all took very simple herbs like clove, curcuma longa, then your ginger, what you say, ashwagandha or silicoris, kali miri, tulsi, and all neem. They took all these drugs in equal proportion. They mixed it and they prepared the extract out of it, mixed into the cotton plant fiber, and this is a technique in pharmaceutics called as electrospinning process of nanofiber, where this mixture is kept in nano form. So nanotechnology is also a techno laboratory technology nowadays. Okay, nanomedicines, right, which is developed by pharmaceutics people, so where it again is a combo pharmaceutics and pharmacognosy phytochemistry. What they did is they took that nano electrospinning nanotechnology machine. Into that, they just added the drug, plant drug, and then they got this what you say, herbal extract entrapped matrix, and which is just placed on the inner part of this mask. Now, what it will do, it will protect this layer of herbal drug embedded matrix, okay, which is placed in that inner part of this mask. When you put it on your face, whatever the germs will come, there is no entry. These are the filters, and then at the same time they will also kill. So it is a very good innovation. Okay, avishkar. So please participate in Avishkar every year. Dear students, take help of your faculty members. With the help of this knowledge, techniques, must through this platform, I urge you, I request you, all students must participate in Avishkar innovation programs laid down by universities. Okay, and come up with so many good ideas. Who knows where your product will get shine and it will get commercialized. Shark Tank आप देखते ही हो, है ना? So through that you may get good opportunity, friends, and you can come up with some commercial utility product. Concluding remarks, dear friends, pharmacognosy evolved from these early uses and it is still evolving. हम change is rule of nature and we have to keep on changing from time to time. Changing means what? Changing means पीछे नहीं जाना हमें. We have to keep on updating. We have to go at higher state. Okay. By taking our roots. We should not forget our roots of pharmacognosy, phytochemistry, pharmaceutics. ये basic fundamental knowledge जो आप पढ़ रहे हो pharma B Pharm में, this is a very basic fundamental knowledge, and that knowledge we have to explore, okay, to get the medicines. And it is estimated nowadays, friends, more than 60% of drugs, anti-tumor drugs, anti-infectious drugs, already there are in market are from natural origin. Like very good example is विनका. विनका म्हणजे सदाफुली. सदाफुलीचं झाड सगळ्यांनी बघितलं, सबने देखा है सदाबहार का प्लांट, सगळ्यांनी बघितला आहे का सदाफुलीचा प्लांट? So this plant was mentioned as an anti-tumor at that time, but it was studied in detail in laboratory, in clinical studies, and found that it is a very potent anti-tumor drug, and now it is commercialized. Okay, you can see what is the cost of, just go and search what is the cost of one setting of chemotherapy, anti-tubercular drug therapy, 70,000, एक लाख तक का उसका एक मेडिसिन होता है. So you can imagine how much of it has beat the market. Okay, the vast majority of these cannot yet be synthesized, but yes, economically and are still obtained from wild and cultivated plants. और क्या होता है ना, through synthetic drug has many limitations, thousands of limitations. Major limitation, they are toxic. Okay, and which is the benefit what we get from the natural products? Why we only talk about natural products, pharmacognosy? Because these crude drugs has minimal, I'm not saying 100%, but minimal toxic effect, very negligible toxic effect in our body, and that can be overcome by studying the acute toxicity studies or dose finding studies, and we can reduce it. And as such, medicine, how you will define medicine? Medicines, if it is in less quantity, more effective. What is medicine, friends? Less quantity, more effective. Okay, it is called as a potent or say medicine, and which cures in less period of time. Okay, so that is only that we can get from natural products. The study of pharmacognosy is a natural factory of, it's a natural factory. What is it? It's a natural factory of lead molecules. Okay, following the design and rational planning of new drugs, biomimetic synthetic development, discovery, therapeutic properties, and yet attributed to known compounds. This interest in drugs of plant origin is due to conventional medicine can be insufficient. अभी जो ही मैं अभी बताया मैंने आपको, क्योंकि क्या होता है, why it is so interest, why it is we need to take interest in plant origin, because the modern medicine, the synthetic medicine has huge side effect. Okay, and therefore there is a only and only one solution called as natural products are harmless. These are some references I am put forth. These are some of my publications. Raut sir, myself, and Raut sir, Dr. Rajesh Patil sir, we have very nice association. We also worked for so many years, 11 years we are together. We have worked together and we do publish so many papers together. Okay, in this field of pharmacognosy, pharmacology, and pharmaceutical chemistry. So, friends, I'm very proud that myself and Mayuresh Raut sir, we have written a book called a Natural Product Chemistry, which was including the syllabus of Pune University at that time, analytical pharmacognosy, and then natural products and commerce, along with Gokhale sir and myself. Friends, this pharmacy field has given me a lot more than what I needed. Really, it is just because of this field which I have chosen for my study. A pharmacy gives a lot to you. It gives name and fame, everything. The only thing is you should be consistent, persistent, hardworking, okay, throughout your process of degree course. Okay, fine. So please, and please listen to your teachers, to your professors. They are really a torch bearer for you all throughout your career, right? And really, you will be a shining star of this pharmacy profession on one fine day. And I am really wish that from your college, from your institute, I will look forward that students within civil services or say in pharmacy as a top-notch pharmacy owners, pharma industries owners, or in product drug development and so on. So, question answer round, sir.
Yes, sir. The session is open for question answers. So I request if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and proceed for the question answer session.
Anything, whatever you want to ask, it may be a simple question, student. I would like to hear from you what you have understood so far through this webinar. Please let me know. Anything. Or if you have any query, any what do you say?
You can also drop questions in the box, and for the session, we can answer it.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I think
Student, if they have any
uh,
curiosity about the subject, about the topic, they can ask. It's not nothing like something very big question that they can ask anything about pharmacognosy or say role of pharmacognosy, what they understood, herbal drug market, herbal drug research.
I request Rajesh Patil sir to say few words. vote of thanks. Since the students are not having any question, I will ask the question to Dr. Raju Wadekar, sir.
No problem, sir. Subsequently, they will ask. I request all students to please go and ask teachers also. Okay. If you have any doubt, yes, there is a question from Harshada Puranik. Sir, what is the time period required for one drug from lab to commercialization? Yes, of course. See, friends, I would like to give the answer to this question. Nowadays, before know what they are having, it was taking more than 25 years due to the very basic practices which were going on in the laboratory from the plant to drug. And most of the time was going on in the clinical trials, preclinical and clinical trials. Preclinical trials means which are the plants extracts or the active constituents or the phytomedicines which is tested in animal studies in vitro and in vivo, because the result should be very much proper one. They should be error free, reproducible. Result should be there. So many of time due to the results, okay, the results are not coming up to the mark, or say in late, because the process is too much hectic, too much time consuming. And because of this, just I keep on telling that yes, there is a technology transfer takes place, no, metamorphosis nowadays. In silico studies have come up, and then netropharmacology is one of the thing, and then AI. So AI, netropharmacology. So nowadays the time period is less. Okay, and one more thing that I would like to add, that we don't have to use a new, or we don't have to search in new and novel plants. So there is a called a concept called a reverse pharmacology, wherein whatever the drugs are there in market, like say for example ashwagandha, which is a well established drug, it which contain vithanolide, which is a phytoconstituent, well established phytoconstituent. So now what researchers is doing, so it is taking very less time. I will give an answer to this question. Time period means it requires not, there's not such fixed time, but yes, the time period is less, okay, compared to the previous practices. As compared to the previous practices, it may be say 10 years. Okay, and nowadays what they're doing, they are not actually in the process of new search of new molecules. In search of new molecules, of course it will take too much of time. It's all depend upon the preclinical studies and preclinical and clinical studies what they are carried out in laboratory, right? That too from nation to nation again. So what they did is, what they're doing is nowadays, to reduce the time, they are simply taking the novel phytoconstituents, and then they are studying its chemistry in terms of chemistry and pharmacology by using in silico studies, which you call as CAD, and in pharmacology studies, wherein they can easily find out that these vithanolide, how it how it which that vitanoid, how it is working on the different thousands or different receptors, okay, in that particular system. It's all the AI or say software based process, okay. They can easily make out that this vitanoid is having how much of activity or how much of potency, okay, to react with to that, to reach out that receptors and to give that type of activity, okay, potent activity. And then that receptor and that drug combination is decided to study in clinical studies, and thereby the time get reduced, okay. So now we are making use of AI, netropharmacology in silico studies to reduce the time in the drug from lab to commercialization, right? Because once the drug is done in laboratory, then it is easy for commercialize it, because the very first step is laboratory work. So once it is properly studied in laboratory, then we can easily commercialize it in market. Again, we need to see then how it will get commercialized, what would be the probable market for it, whether it could be a cosmetic product or it may be a excipient, even simple excipient. We can use the natural products in, if you develop a, if you study a natural product for its excipient property, and if it is a very excellent excipient, it may be a binder, it may be a this one, then in that case we can use it for commercialization, okay. So as I keep on telling you, network pharmacology, in silico studies, and many more other options are available nowadays to bypass all that previous uh, lengthy process of clinical and preclinical studies. Any other? I would like to share some next session, maybe in coming session on reverse pharmacology. Already one of my guides shortly presented it very well.
वीडियो ऑन
Okay.
करो काम. Hello.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning. Very good morning, sir. Sir, it was a very actually exhaustive and very brilliant lecture by you, sir. Actually, you have covered many of the aspects of the pharmacology. Not only explored the importance of cognosy, but you talked about the interdisciplinary approach. That was very brilliant, sir. Actually, students should get a lot of benefits from this particular approach, especially in case of the research also. Because what happens ki students think in a single way, just approach towards the learning that studying that particular subject. But you have developed that enthusiasm in the students' mind, exploring their interest in the not only cognosy or phytochemistry but allied subjects also. So that was very much appealing, sir. And also I have one request to you, ki, sir, if you can explore your horizon towards the some important isolation techniques in the pharmacognosy and phytochemistry, that will be also beneficial for the students, specifically the third year final year students, sir. Because I know that
Definitely, sir.
yes, sir, seeing your resume and these things, you have specialization in various isolation techniques. You have got a very best research paper also. Many of your scientific publication, peer-reviewed scientific papers are there in the Science Direct and Springer. So your vast experience in this particular subject will definitely help the students to gain much of the knowledge, as well as the interest will create the interest also in the students' minds, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Definitely, sir. I look forward for this. Your students
Yes, sir.
really
And
need to guide and create interest
yes,
in
sir.
this
So it
field.
was really a mind-blowing talk by you, sir. And I request ki in future also you will extend your this horizon and help towards our Pimpri Chinchwad University, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Over to Mayuresh, sir.
Hello. Yes, am I
Yes, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable guidance. Now I would like to propose vote of thanks. I deem it great privilege to extend the vote of thanks. I express my deep sense of gratitude to our patrons, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Manimala Puri Madam, Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor Dr. Sundare Sir, Honorable Director Dr. Girish Desai, Executive Campus Director, PCET, for their encouragement and support in organizing this webinar. The very presence of Dr. Raju Wadekar sir, in spite of his busy schedule, is a reflection of the importance that he is attached to the commitment. I, on behalf of PCU School of Pharmacy, students, and guest invitees, extend to you a very hearty vote of thanks. I also extend my thanks to Dr. Rajesh Patil sir, Head School of Pharmacy, for his unstinted support, minute to minute guidance, and for providing encouragement at every point of time in the organization of this webinar. I have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues who know their job and are result oriented. I thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of the task beyond their comfort zones. So, once again, I would like to thank everyone. And once again, thank you, Raju Adekar, sir, for accepting the invitation and sparing your valuable time for our students and our faculty and exploring your ideas about the role of pharmacognosy from lab to commercialization. So
Thank you,
with
sir.
this,
Thank you very much.
I would like session. Yeah, sir, I will be sharing the certificate of appreciation on the email short.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I request all the participants to turn on their cameras so that we can have